This talk is titled, Vilcretus Package, Educational Resource through the use of Mathematica software in the field of discrete mathematics. My name is Enrique Vilches Quesada. I am Professor Catedrático at the School of Informatics at the National University of Costa Rica. The aim of this work lies in show the overall operation of a package oriented to the commercial software Mathematica, where the package Vilcretus represents an educational support to develop each of the main topics of a discrete mathematics course. Vilcretus is the result of a research project attached to the School of Informatics at the National University of Costa Rica. The Vilcretus package is designed as a latent need in the chair of Course EIF 203 Discrete Structures for Computer Science, which is part of ongoing career in Information Systems Engineering. A novel means to address discrete mathematics that has unfortunately become an obstacle to student populations with this type of courses. In addition, Vilcretus is a technological resource that can facilitate the transformation of arid issues in visualization and conceptual possibilities of autonomous construction by the student. Some of the benefits that Vilcretus offers are: serve sponsorship teaching discrete mathematics courses, incorporates user-friendly commands without having a deep knowledge of programming language Wolfram. An important aspect could eventually lead to student teach this programming environment. The package seeks to use practical, effective, and agile by the student population. An essential aspect of Vilcretus is what the constitutes tools for the study of real problems internally using data analysis features and geographical elements provided by Mathematica. Vilcretus added to the Mathematica software distributed 195 functions in the following topics: recursion, recurrence relations, analysis algorithms, binary relations, graph theory, trees theory, machines and automata's finite state, and languages and grammars. For purposes of this talk, we'll share two of the most significant commands by chapter. First, the Vilcretus package rises. On the issue of recursion, various commands were developed to explain to a novice student this programming technique. SummaDG, for example, is a statement that sums the digits of a natural number. In the first case, you run a direct calculation. In the second, the calculation is performed and the function code is displayed to the user. In the third, are the steps to perform the calculation by the instruction. And finally, in the last run, it shows both the code and the steps simultaneously. Moreover, the summatoria command automates recursively a process to calculate any sum. For example, if you want to add a constant number, as in this case, the sum varies from 1 to n-1. When you run, the recursive program code is displayed and the calculation step for n equal to 20. In the second example, the sum varies from 3 to n-1 and n is taken equal to 10. Similarly to the previous case, the recursive program evaluation and step-by-step is shown. For the issue of recurrence relations will be shared commands, metado RRHL and metado I. Metado RRHL It shows step-by-step implementation of one of the classic methods for solving a linear relationship homogeneous recurrence with constant coefficients, through the use of an equation called characteristic equation. For example, to solve, runs. Showing step-by-step procedure. In the second example we have the same situation where the initial conditions start at 0. In the third, initial conditions begin in 5. Provided the process in detail. Method OI shows a linear recurrence relation of order 1, their evaluations in k iterations in ascending or descending order according to the user's choice. For example, in this embodiment, the recurrence relation has this term as quotient and the second as the inhomogeneous part. By deploying 5 evaluations each shown with intent to infer what would be the generalization of the results to match the initial condition. In the second example, the same recurrence relation is presented but in ascending order and evaluations specifying where the initial condition starts in 3. On the subject of analysis algorithms command was created to graphically show the concept of asymptotic big O notation. The Graphicana command allows the above. For example, if you want to check this asymptotic notation you could run animation can change the value of the constant c to realize is seen as the graph of the absolute value of c for the second function is sometimes above and below the absolute value of the first. That is, a theta-verified asymptotic relationship. In the second example, we have the same situation. Sometimes the absolute value of the function cn by the natural logarithm of n is above and below the absolute value of the natural logarithm of n factorial function. Another interesting command is comp limit to by at the limit two functions to derive a large asymptotic notation, big O, omega or theta. In example 1, comp limit executing a test theta notation as the limit results in a positive constant. In example 2, a sum is compared with another function that depends on the parameter j. This generates an animation. In it for j less than a 7 omega notation is checked. N equal to 8 in a theta notation and verified from 9 asymptotic big O notation. A first command on the issue of what constitutes rel-bin binary relations, which by a judgment written as a string, allows explicitly return the ordered pairs that make up a relation. In example 1, all pairs where the relationship criterion defines that the greatest common divisor is equal to 1 are returned. In the second, the criterion is given by this equation. Moreover, TPO relation is a command that classifies a binary relation reflexive, symmetric, anti-symmetric, transitive, of equivalence and partial order. The first relation is not anti-symmetric, so the command justifies showing a counterexample. In the second case, the relations is not reflexive, not symmetric, is not anti-symmetric, and not transitive is always returning a counterexample. In graph theory, Vilcretas command an interesting package conforms grapho. Receive the edges of the graph as ordered pairs, build it. In the first example, the edges of the graph are returned by the relbin command, and then using the options vertices and Dirigido graph is shown as a directed graph with two isolated vertexes. In the second example, a random graph is displayed in 3 dimensions. In the third example, the same previous graph but where weights are assigned to each of its edges by the pesos option is generated. Another important command, thinking in the teaching of Dijkstra's algorithm, it is ALDijkstra. The instruction execution algorithm provides step-by-step, giving the student the opportunity to review what he has done in his notebook. For example, in this second case shows the result of Dijkstra algorithm on a graph generated by the instruction grapho country regions. This command is able to construct a complete graph where the edges are the distances between each region of a country that is specified. In this example, the country is Costa Rica. Finally, in theory tree commands are shared, RBAL-R and FARBALES generatories. RBAL-R. Tree displays a tree where the user can choose the root. In the first example, the selected root is 5. In the second, the selected root is still 5, but it has generated a directed tree with weights on its edges and where the nodes are shaped like a hexagon. The command FARBALES generatories algorithms executed internally, with first search first along, prim and Kruskal. Then the student is a tool for verification of results. For example, this graph, these are the results of all these algorithms. The conclusions of this work are presented the following. The package Vilcretas customize a teaching effort in order to systematize computer-assisted methodology. Mathematica software endows a number of new commands for teaching purposes. It is a resource available to other educational institutions with similar courses. To conclude this talk, share the following website. In it, specifically in the archive section, is available free download of the package Vilcretas and additional resources such as a glossary of commands that integrates. I also want to mention the publication of a book on the subject by the Mexican editorial Alpha Omega. The book provides an appropriate introduction to using the Mathematica software to develop content of discrete mathematics. They are cordially invited to read. Also, I socialize my email address for future questions on this subject. Thank you very much for the care provided.
Okay. Thank you very much.